saying we're live.
Alright. Hey, Shalom Akim. Shalom. Hey, first and foremost, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honor to the elder apostle, great millstone, the teachers of Israel in these last days. Okay. And salutations to the Most High's elect men out there in the four corners of the earth, pushing His word in sincerity and in truth. And shalom to the sisters out there as well that support and subscribe unto the Most High's word wholeheartedly. Today we got a special guest down here in the state of Mississippi. You know, we got Elder Apostle Ariamla with us. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, here to do what the Spirit allows and what the Spirit is commanding him. Today the brother he got a topic.
What's the topic of?
Yeah, basically it's going to, you can't say you wasn't warned. Because the times we come into Jacob's trouble, you see the prophets out here, they forewarn you what's coming. All the different pestilences, the famines, the earthquakes, all these different storms happening around. You got racial tensions. So we letting you know through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem what's happening. And you know what I'm saying, our people, they basically fan their hand at us. So when that time comes, you're not going to be justified.
Got it. I got a quick precept. You have something?
No, go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Come. Got it, bro.
Yeah, come. So, hey, basically the apostles and the teachers are actually on the highways and the byways letting you know what's coming down the drain, man. So basically you can't be, you have been forewarned, man. And what's the mouth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? Hey, his prophets, man, because he's not going to come here and manifest himself upon earth. He does that through his men, man.
And he did that once already. What did Israel do? Israel ran.
That's right.
You know, they got scared. They said, nah, Moses, we don't want to talk to the Most High no more. We'll talk to you. We ain't going to talk to the Most High.
That's right.
So ever since that point, the Lord set up what's called a mediator.
That's right.
You know, so now Moses was the first mediator. You know, then Yahushai became a mediator later on down the road. And in the midst of that, the prophets became the mediators or the go-between between the Most High and the nation of Israel.
That's right.
You know, and you would rather you better take heed to the prophets because you don't want the Most High to step in and start talking to you. When the Most High starts talking, there's actions going to be taken, man. And you don't want that. You don't want no parts of the Most High like that, man.
That's right.
You know,
you got a precept for you, apostle.
You got it.
Hey, this is Hebrews 1:1. The Most High, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
That's right. So the Most High is the one that spake in time past unto the fathers, which is who? The Israelites, by the mouth of the prophets. You know, so anytime you go back in history, whether they were kings in Israel, whether they were princes or judges or whatever it was on the earth, the Lord always sent prophets out there, you know, before something would come to pass. That's why when you go back during the time of Samuel, when Samuel came to anoint King David to be king, or David to be king, when he came to the city, what happened with the people? The people got nervous. Why did they get nervous? They said, are you coming in peace or are you coming in wrath or something along those lines? You know, he said he came in peace because they knew that when the prophet stepped in, you know, there were harsh things that were going to be said, and there was harsh judgment that was going to come down the pike. You know, y'all brothers got it.
Y'all got a precept?
Yeah.
This Isaiah 62:6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence.
That's right. Yeah, y'all got it. Y'all want to jump in?
You know what I'm saying? You know, those watchmen, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he bestowed that knowledge upon the apostles and elders, a great millstone. And you sincere brothers on down. So we not holding our peace day nor night. We give you the 100% truth, man. We don't care if it hurts your feelings. You know what I'm saying? We don't care if it's our loved ones. We got to tell you the truth, what it is. You're not right, well, according to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he's going to put you to death.
That's right. That's right.
All right. I got a quick one for you all. This is Jeremiah 29:19. Because they have not hearkened to my word, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which I sent unto them.
And that's why Israel is considered as a stiff-necked people, man. And that's why 2/3 of our people are deemed to die. You know, basically because you haven't received that spirit to listen, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, you know what? When you go back into the wilderness, Israel was complaining because they didn't have food to eat or water to drink. So the Most High gave them their heart's desire. He gave them the food and the water to drink. But it said that he sent leanness into their soul. You know, meaning that he didn't give them pretty much he didn't give them the ears to hear or the mind to understand or the eyes to see when the Lord was speaking unto them.
That's right.
You know, that's why it says that who is blind but my servant, you know, that's Israel.
That's right.
I got it.
It's Jeremiah 29:19. Because they have not hearkened to my words, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which I sent unto them by my servants, the prophets.
The prophets. So basically, right now, we are actually the mediators as well, man. Beginning with the apostles and the elder gentlemen of Great Millstone, man. Because hey, at the end of the day, hey, we are the only group that's actually teaching the truth and sincerity, man. We put our lives on the line for you all, man. Nate is not doing it. You know what I'm saying? General Yohana, he's not doing it. They're basically trying to appease the satisfactions of their desires to progress in this American dream, man.
But that's the justification of the Most High destroying the majority of the Israelites, man. Because he's no longer providing a cloak for their sins. Now they have no cloak, you know. They have no room for repentance in these times because the prophets are out there proclaiming the word. They tell you the do's and the don'ts. You know, they tell you what's going to happen if you do this. They tell you what's going to happen if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
That's why in those hard times or during the time of Jacob's trouble, those men that pre-warned the people are going to be protected. Right. The people that did not take heed of that warning are not going to be protected. Right. You know?
All right, it says, which I sent to them by my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them. But you would not hear, said
and this is considered early right now, man. Because why? Hell has not broken loose, man.
While the evil days come now.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Pursuing Jeremiah 28:8, it says, prophets old prophesied both against many countries, against great kings of war, evil, and pestilence. So that's what we're doing right now through the Spirit of Yahweh Shah. We forewarning you people, man.
Hey, cause that's why we don't have this soft spot for the 2/3. People say, man, pray for the 2/3, love the 2/3, different things of that nature. The message, hey, the book is already written.
That's right.
We're just reading through the chapters, you know. Because even if we did pray for the so-called 2/3, they still gonna die.
Yeah.
If we pray for the heathen nations, they still gonna go into captivity.
Yeah. And the Lord said, "Pray not for this people." Pray not. You know, because Jeremiah at one time was soft for the nation of Israel, but then he was praying to the Lord for them, and then the Lord said, "Pray not for this people, because my heart cannot be towards this people, because they turned their heart from the Lord." So, but then they came to a point where when Jeremiah really found out what the deal was and what they really wanted to do to him, what did he do? He started putting curses on Israel. Right. You know? So that just goes to show you that in the flesh, you know, you have those emotions. You know, you may have that love for your people, even though 2/3 of Israel right now are not our people, they're heathens. Right. You know, but the Most High's word takes precedence over our feelings. That's what the Lord said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways. For as the heavens is higher than the earth, so are my ways and your ways, and my thoughts and your thoughts. You know, so the message and the plans that are laid out of the Most High. He has everything already set up. That's right. You know, just like when you go to a movie, you don't try to tell the director or the producer of the movie how to conduct his own movie. He has a vision in his mind of what he wants to put. You have to accomplish his vision. And if you don't accomplish his vision, guess what? You get either killed out of the movie or you don't get the part. You know? So pretty much through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we're bringing to pass the vision, you know, of the Most High, so to speak. You know? By us going out there and teaching and letting the world know what's going to happen and that let them know, let 2/3 of Israel know that the Lord's going to destroy them.
That's right.
You know? Yeah, I got it.
Real quick one. And this is Genesis 3:8. It states, and they heard the voice of the Lord power, walking in the garden in the cool of the day.
That's right.
And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua amongst the trees of the garden.
Right. And that goes hand in hand with the scripture the brother just read in the book of Hebrews, the 1st chapter. The Most High, who in sundry times and in divers manners spake unto our fathers by the prophets. You know?
Now, Apostle, when you get that Hebrew term for cool, it's Strong's H7307.
I know it's gonna be good, bro.
Pronounced as Rawaka. Rawaka.
Right.
And this is
which is spirit.
Spirit.
Yep.
Okay.
What's the spirit? The word.
The word.
Somebody get that real quick. John 6:63. While the brother's getting.
Okay.
This is John 6 verse 63. And it says, "It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life."
Right. These words that are spoken, their spirit and their life. So when the Lord causes us to go out there and speak these words come to life.
That's right.
You know? And then the Lord gives the increase and causes his prophecies to take place to give credence that these are his words.
That's right.
You know?
Okay, and the definition states as impelling profit to other instruction or warning.
See?
Related to the cool of the day.
Yeah, didn't I say I'll give them warning of me?
Okay.
Yeah. Now you got it, bro. Because I got something to back you up, you know. Unless if you got some.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, this is just another one to back up that scripture in Genesis. The scripture in Hebrews is Luke chapter 1. I started at 68, the point is in 7.
Oh, this one.
It says, oh, you already got that?
That was over.
It says, you want to bring it out?
No, you got it.
All right, it says, blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he had visited and redeemed his people. Why? Because the prophets were saying that this was going to happen. And that's what Israel was waiting for. Did not the priest Simeon, didn't he say that he held the Yahushua in his hands? And it said, now let thy servant go in peace, for I have seen the consolation of Israel. You know? So he was waiting.
And Apostle, and what is Simeon? Affliction heard.
That's right.
He was awaiting for Yahushua to come upon the earth, man, and that's why he was ready to depart once Yahushua touched down.
That's right. Hey, and then he said, this child is set for the fall and rising of many in Israel.
Right.
You know? Hey, man, this is. Tell me, it says, verse 69, and he hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
So nothing has changed. That's why Yahweh Shem Shah changes not. Okay, and then Yahushua stated in the book of Hebrews the same as yesterday and the same as today, man. Nothing has changed, man. But what has happened with our people, they have been indoctrinated with this Christianity bullshit, man, and they have cleaved on to these man-made philosophies, man.
They're going astray.
And now you are in the congregation of the dead.
That's right. You got it.
Yeah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
What's the former things? Hey, the birth of Yahushua, how the Babylonian Empire was going to take over the southern kingdom, how the Assyrian Empire was going to take over the northern kingdom. And what's the new things, man? Basically, the chip, you know, how Esau has the technology basically to manipulate the weather. Like when you break down the term geostorm, geo means earth and storm means to stir the earth, you know.
And many other things, you know, the nuclear destruction, martial law, concentration camps,
Mark of the
beast, Jacob's trouble, you know. It's all, these are the new things that haven't come to pass yet. You got it.
This is a back of the apostle. We read about Luke 170. Everything is predestined. This is 2 Timothy 1:9. Who have saved us and called us with a holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Yahushua before the world began.
That's right.
Yeah, because before we came into the truth, we weren't keeping the law, man. We were receiving haircuts, had lined up hair, you know, basically sleeping with other men's women, eating abominable things, man. So basically, the truth is a gift. And just like the gift is given to you, it can be taken away from you, man. It's not about your works.
Yeah, that's why the scripture reference, run and fight, that no man may, take thy crown. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not phrasing it correctly or verbatim. You know?
Brother know what you mean.
Exactly.
Hey, look it up. Guys, I got a quick one to back up the one you just read. This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "And a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word," which is dealing with Yahweh Shai. So to them that stumble at the word is 2/3 of Israel. It says, "Being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed." So this is something that they were appointed unto.
That's right.
You know, that's that predestination. So you have those that are appointed for salvation and those that are appointed for destruction.
Yeah.
You know? And Yahweh Shai spoke that. I'm not sure exactly where it is. It's in the one of the Gospels. He said that when the judgment comes, it's going to be like judgment for the good and judgment for the evil, you know, for the wicked. You know, something along those lines. Because the judgment is going to come, but it's going to come in two forms. So the first part of it is the deliverance for the elect, and the other part of the destruction for the 2/3 and the other nations.
I got a precept for that. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, and I'll read 19 to 22. It says, "For then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed, and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that will come into it.
That's right.
And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain."
Yeah, so that cluster is dealing with the elect. The multitude that was born in vain is dealing with 2/3 of Israel, Esau here in America, and in Israel and the other nations. You know, but mainly it's dealing with the 1/3 and the 2/3. You know, and because they were really born in vain, because they were born to be destroyed. You know, that's what the Lord spoke about, the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. The wicked are prepared for the day of evil. You know?
It says, "And let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect."
Right. For great labor have I made it perfect. So the Lord, what we're going through, that's what the Lord said, "Despise not thou the chastening of the Lord. For who the Lord loveth, he rebuketh and chasteneth often." You know? Or rebuketh often. Why? Because didn't it say in Peter's that they that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin? You know? So there's a purpose why the Lord is putting afflictions upon us. You know? And hopefully we be those men that are part of the elect, man. Of the hopeful elect.
Revelation 3:18. "I counsel thee to buy of me gold, tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see."
That's the elect brothers right there, man. And how they getting tried and go, basically going through their different afflictions. You know, it's basically it's purifying them. It's getting all those different impurities out of them. You know, and they basically gonna shine, man. They gonna shine with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Bashem Shai.
That's right, bro.
Okay. This Psalm
Hey, brother, that's the eye salve.
Exactly. You know? This Psalm 69 verse 22. "That their table become a snare before them, and that we should have been for their welfare."
Yeah, and the tables is truth, man. And so King David actually, sent a prayer, man, so 2/3 of our people will be destroyed, so they can't come into this truth, man.
Right.
Because what is welfare? Welfare provides security, man. It's a safe haven, man. Okay.
That's why we say when all hell breaks loose, man, 2/3 of our people, man, hey, they're not gonna have that spiritual hedge over them. They're not gonna have that protection, that security, you know. All right. So this Psalm 69:22, it says that their table become a snare before them, and that we should have been for their welfare, they become a trap.
Yeah, because when you heard this truth, man, that's supposed to be your welfare, man. But basically, what happened? You mocked, you know, you scoring against it, and now you've been entrapped, man. And what does that mean? You're gonna be destroyed, man.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they see not. Make their loins continually to shake.
Right, and your eyes is your spiritual awareness, man, to basically be able to see, man. But you can't see the dark sayings. Why? Because you don't have the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man.
And to go into the loins shaking. And when you look at people in the world, they panic and stress out over any and everything, man. You know, some things may be great, some things may be small, but when you look at yourself in this truth as a man of the Lord, a man after Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you see how the Most High has hardened you to where your loins are actually girded up. and you're able to walk through different situations, circumstances, man, because your faith is in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. The people's loins tend to shake because they're not girded up in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Their faith is in their own hands. Look at what I've done. Look at what I've built for myself.
Self-made.
But it's self-made. But then things start to dwindle down. Things start to began to be taken away from you. Whether it's loved ones or whether it's material things. And they panic. They stress out. They, you know what I'm saying, just spaz out. You know, because they have no faith, man.
That's right. Hey, Elder, and just to back you up, you know, on the Dark Knight, that's what the Joker was telling Two-Face. Basically, if you remove stabilization or consistency from from everybody's lives, then basically they'll go crazy.
That's right.
But when you are always, you know what I'm saying, trial through the fire, man, there's no consistency, which means your faith has to be constant in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Well, that's in the book of Sirach as well. It says it goes into pleasures. It says give thyself not unto them. You know what I'm saying? Because the more pleasures you have, the less discipline you have.
That's right, bro.
You know, so the Most High gave us a perfect balance of things, man.
Right.
He told us to be content.
I just back what you said. This Isaiah 52:1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments. And you know those garments go into this the truth, man. This the knowledge of Yahweh Bashir Shai. He bestowed upon our elders, our apostles, and on to the sincere brothers of GMS. It says, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. And the uncircumcised and unclean, that's the 2/3 of our people.
That's right.
We already know it's not 40 other nations, man. So that's breaking the division right there. It's 2/3 of our people. They can't come into this. They can't put on those beautiful garments, which is His word.
Hey, bro, can I match you right quick? Revelation 16:15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Going into what you were saying. Because what is the actual clothing? You know, you're being clothed by the word, man. Like the brother put, he said, without this knowledge, we are naked. You know?
That's right. I jump back to Psalm 69.
And one more. Can I just back up the order? Hey, Joel 2:13. And rend your heart and not your garments, and turn unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil.
That's right. You know? Hey, not to get off topic, but that's a cut on hell right there, man.
Sure is.
All right? Because the Lord, it said, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. That doesn't sound like that this is the same God that will burn a particular individual for eternity to infinity and beyond.
God damn.
You know?
Go ahead, bro. Good point. All right, this Psalm 69, verse 25. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none dwell in their tents. For they persecute him whom thou hast smitten, and they talk to the grief of those whom thou hast wounded. Add iniquity unto their iniquity, and let them not come into thy righteousness. All right.
Hey, basically, you can't come into the truth because of that curse. And who put the spirit on David to send up that curse? Hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living, and not be written with the righteous.
That's right. So basically, you're gonna have to come through the process of reincarnation, man. You know, you're not gonna be those first fruits, because if you look up the term first fruits, it means superior of its class, man. That's why Apostle Tahar and apostles always say that there is an elect within the elect.
That's right. That's right. Hey, because there was a multitude of disciples. You know, there was a great number of individuals that actually followed Yahweh Shai. But what was the number that actually were close unto him?
That's right, bro.
How many were actually at the Passover? You know, so before his departure. You know, so that was the elect of the elect, man.
That's right. All right, this is Lamentations 3, verse 60. Thou hast seen all their vengeance and all their imaginations against me. Thou hast heard their reproach, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and all their imaginations against me. The lips of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day. That's going to those scoffers, man. You know, you niggas coming up against us through the spirit. Hey, you're gonna get rebuked for that.
Yeah, like Nazariah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You and the Locks, y'all done remixed the whole doctrine. Then you got who was them idiots in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And y'all don't know a goddamn thing. And what's so crazy, hey, 8-Man even says he don't even read the scriptures. So how the hell can you take anything with I mean, how can you believe anything that idiot says, man?
That's right, man.
You know?
And it says, thou hast heard the reproach, O Yahweh Shai, and all their imaginations against me, the looks of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day. Behold, they're sitting down and they're rising up. I am their music. They look at us as entertainment, man. That's why when they see different videos having the woman in there, they look at that, oh man, it's more drama. You know what I'm saying? Like when the Apostle, they did the video on the Atlanta dude, you know, Jordan, that pretty much got views because it was a controversy, man. So that's like entertainment to them. But through the end of the day, hey, you gonna get rebuked for that, man. You gonna get judged also.
That's right.
Okay? So it says, render unto them a recompense, O Yahweh Shai, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from other the heavens of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Hey, bro, a quick precept. Ezekiel 33:30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls, and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord Yahweh. You know, like you saying, basically, hey, it's not a goddamn movie or a comedy show, man. When you report the camp, man, you supposed to have a tablet and you supposed to be writing precepts down, man. You supposed to come there to learn, not to be entertained, man.
That's right. All right, this is Jeremiah 8:7. Yea, the stork in the heaven doeth her appointed times, and the turtle and the crane and the swallow observe the time of their coming. So these are different creatures the Most High created, of course, and they know their appointed times. Like they know when it's a storm coming, and they know it's time to migrate to another different region. You know?
Yeah, the animals.
Coming.
The animal kingdom.
That's right. But my people know not the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Shai.
I got a good one for that. Brother Yahweh Shai is coming back. Posted Isaiah 14:24. It says, the Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purpose, so shall it stand. You know? So you can't, outrun the judgment of the Lord, man. The best thing to do is to do the best you can. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
hey, do the best you can in being a creature of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and honor your creator with all strength, man. Because we can never go far enough, you know? And this is just generally speaking, because the men of the Lord, the hopefully elect, already have this mind frame, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But for the people that the Most High slowly, you know what I'm saying, kind of slowly open up that spirituality unto, you know, that's for you.
That's right.
All right, you got a precept?
I got a quick one. Hey, this is Matthew 16:4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonah, and he left them and departed.
That's right. Yeah, they seeking for a sign. That's 2/3 of our people, man. Cause Esau has put that vibration on 2/3 of our people to be tangible. They basically they'll believe until they see it, man. But through the spirit of Yahweh Bashan Shai, we have faith, man. You know, we see it. We know the prophecies are coming, man. You can see it with your own eyes. You just pay attention to the news. But you know, 2/3 of our people, they're blind, man.
And it goes to show you the lowest state of our people, because our people, are actually spiritual people. But like you're saying, now they're just strictly motivated by carnal stuff. What they see, what they feel, what they can grab hold to, man.
They're tangible, man.
Tangible.
Yep. You know? And because even the Lord walked the scene himself, what did they do? You know?
Oh, man.
They buffeted at him. They spat at him. They hit him. And they ultimately were the ones who wanted him crucified, man. Let his sin be upon us and our children. You know? Only a stupid soul would say that, man.
Yeah.
You basically cursed yourself.
Right.
And your lineage. Everybody came behind you. You cursed every generation after you.
That's right.
Because you hated a man so badly.
Without a cause.
They hated me without a cause, as it is written.
And then it's just beautiful how Yahweh Hashem El Shai has flipped it, because back in the ancient world they believed that Joseph was the son. I mean, that Yahushua was actually the son of Joseph. Right. All right, and now this day time frame, he didn't have no physical father. He just straight came from the heavens.
You got some, bro? I got a precept. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 7 says, "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded."
Good. And that's that snare we talked about. King David put on 2/3 of our people, man. Let their snare, let their snare
be turned to a snare.
Come the water, and that's that spiritual curse, man. Our generation to generation, man. Our people still can't see the truth. That's a spiritual thing right there.
Yeah, and then I just want to say this too. Like Joseph, he was the son of Yahushua back then. And he actually came out of the loins of Joseph. So and then people didn't accept. They didn't accept him back then. They're not going to accept him now. And nowadays they talk about that virgin birth bullshit. Trying to say that he only came up the mother, Virgin Mary, and all that stuff. Joseph and Mary actually had sex to produce Yahushua. He was actually of the lineage of Joseph. That's why I spoke of Joseph's lineage in the book of Matthew, the 1st chapter. But all these things today, people they're finding pretty much they're serving their own belly. They have itching ears, as the scriptures say, and they're only going to follow the path that the Lord already set up for them anyway.
That's right. Yeah, that predestination.
Yep.
Because we don't have free will. We're actually robots. Pre-programmed.
That's it.
All right. I had a precept. I'll get this. Amos chapter 5 verse 10 says, "They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly."
Yeah. Yeah, and Yahushua said, somebody get out real quick, John 7:7. Because it said they rebuke him they hate him that rebuketh at the gate. And they abhor him that what? Read that again.
Yeah. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
Right, so they hate him that rebuketh at the gate, which is what? The leaders, the real leaders, are rebuking who? The nation of Israel at the gates, at the leadership. It says, and it said they abhor him that what?
Speaketh uprightly.
That speaketh uprightly, meaning they avoid him. They don't want to walk the right path. They know they're wrong, but they don't want to walk the right path because they're already programmed to walk the wrong path. The greatest example of that are the two men that were crucified on either side of Yahushua. The one was wicked, and he knew he was wicked, and he cursed the Lord out. The other one, he did wicked things, but his spirit was one of the spirits of the elect. And he was remorseful, and he was sorry for the things that he'd done. And he looked at this man that didn't do anything wrong and was crucified. He didn't condemn him. He condemned the other guy for trying to condemn Yahushua. See, so that was the balance right there. That's a perfect balance. That example right there is a perfect balance of the judgment for righteous and the judgment for the wicked.
That's right. Now also further proves apostles. Now just, of course, with faith we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But it was all predestined, man. It was determined by his faith at the end of the day, man. That's right. Now, this is John 7:7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hate it, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
That's the same thing that was written in the Old Testament, So they abhor him that rebuketh at the gate, and the Lord said they cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of the world that the deeds thereof are evil. And that's why they don't want these people out here don't want to be corrected. This Western society has messed up the people of the minds of Israel so much that they reprogram their whole way of thinking. As to where our people are spiritual people, they have reprogrammed the whole way of thinking. That's why they're instead of listening to what the scriptures say, they rather listen to what the white man or which are the Edomites, or religion or custom or tradition says. That's what they want to go by. They want to go by those smooth things. They don't want to be reproved. They don't want to be instructed. They don't want to be told that they're going off. Because to them, that's not how they were taught in this society. they taught in the society you could do whatever you want, the Lord still loves you. No. The scriptures say that we know that the Lord heareth not sinners. And it says in the book of Proverbs, it says that if thou turn thy ear from hearing the law, even thy prayer shall be an abomination. You know? So the Lord is not listening to your prayers. The Lord is not going to bless you. You know, because if you're not walking in the path of the Lord to the best of your ability, you know, in sincerity and honesty and truth, then the Lord ain't dealing with you, man. You know, period. And those that are walking in that path, you know, we're hoping that the Lord shows favor and mercy upon us.
Right.
You know? Like the prophets would pray, you know, and ask the Lord to destroy this place, but also ask the Lord to remember mercy in those days for us. You know, remember mercy. Help us out in these days. You know, protect us when these days come. You know? Yeah, bro.
This is Jeremiah 5:29. Shall I not visit for these things, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? Should not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means. And my people love to have it so. What will ye do in the end thereof?
Yeah, my people love to have it so. So Jake don't want to get right, man. You know, like that movie Life, you had Can't Get Right.
Yeah.
Jake don't want to get right, man. Jake wants to go off, man. They want to just live it up in this society. And then when, I believe it was Elder Yashawamba that said that they want to do all kind of wicked shit and then and barely do anything for the Lord. And then when the Lord comes back, they want to be protected.
Yes.
They want to be delivered. Man, the mind of a nigga, man. Damn. You got it, bro.
Isaiah 29:21. That make a man an offender for a word and lay a snare for.
That's a title for a lesson, man. The mind of a nigga.
Oh yeah, the mind of a nigga.
Yep. You go all through all them scriptures and go ahead.
That make a man an offender for a word and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate.
Yeah, they lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. Why do you think they always wanted to kill the prophets? And they killed the prophets. You know, when Jeremiah found out that they were laying snares for him privately, he was like, man, I would hear, you know, and I know in his mind, he was like, hey, I was praying for these clowns, and they the whole time they're trying to kill me. You know, but may the Most High destroy you, you know? You got it.
And turn aside the just for a thing of naught.
Right, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. You know, because this world is a thing of naught. The scriptures say that the things that are seen are temporal. So you won't turn to the Lord so you can enjoy the pleasures of sin. Like Moses didn't do that. Moses gave all of those riches that he had up so that he would suffer with the people of the Lord because he himself was an Israelite. You know, because he knew that those riches were just temporary. But these people out here today, they don't see it that way. You know, they look at, and in this society, back then they had real riches. You know, they had ox, they had cattle, they had silver, they had gold, they had substance, flour, salt, whatever the case may be, different spices, herbs. That was all money. You know, today, what do you have? FRNs, credit cards. You know, which at any moment they could just snap their finger and that could be done away with.
That's right.
There's certain countries right now where the certain stores and stuff, even I believe even in New York and certain other places, that they will not take cash at all. You have to pay them, you know, by either by credit cards or bitcoins, I believe it is, or whatever the case. But you can't pay certain places, and even in certain countries you can't pay cash anymore. They don't accept it. Cash is becoming a thing, an obsolete thing. For those of you that know what this is, cash today is becoming like the 8-track tape, you know, or the cassettes. You know, even though CDs are being used today still, but CDs are like almost like a thing of the past. You know,
Everybody's downloading music now.
that's it. Everything is computerized, different formats. You know, MP3 wave files. You know, MP4, whatever. You know, you got it, brother. Audio files. You know, they're not dealing with that. Why do you think all these different record companies and these different not record companies the places they used to sell records and CDs and all that, why do you think they're going under? Blockbuster and all them different places where you used to be able to rent movies from, they're all going under, man. You know, everything is becoming digital. It's all moving towards that mark of the beast, the new world order. You know, but you tell Jake that they're not going to listen because their whole mind frame is set on the today. Matter of fact, the brother sent me an article that I have it in my phone. Just to bring this out, you had this black woman. You know, somebody was asking her a question, and she was saying that she was a single mother. She was 29 years old. She liked women, but she has I think she had a 1-year-old daughter or something like that. And then she said she wanted to try a new thing. And then what she said was, they asked her, so did they cut off EBT and welfare and all that stuff? And food stamps. She said yes. You know, she said, I'm a single mom. You know, I don't have any lights and electricity, none of that. I need $299, you know, to get it back on. You know, can somebody please help me out right now? You know, and she was willing to do whatever you wanted, whether it was male or female. You know, because the society is shutting down. But Jake believes in this society. That's why they're willing to give up a chance to receive the kingdom of heaven, you know, and to be a part of this society that's about to be destroyed. You know, and the Lord told us that this place is temporary, but the things that are not seen are eternal. And what's the things that are not seen? The kingdom. Because once the kingdom is established, it's not going to be like it is today. It's not going to be like it ever been in any society in this world. You know, because all those kingdoms came up, and no matter how opulent they were, no matter how powerful their militaries were, no matter how great their ship or government was, they all fell. That's right. Why? Because of prophecy. You know, they didn't listen, and what happened? The Lord brought them down. Same thing today. This is the last stronghold of the different world empires. And this world empire now is about to fall, you know? And the next empire that's going to be set up is the empire of Yahushua. That's right. You know, and when his empire is set up and we being joint heirs with him, all corruption and everything's going to be done away with. And everything's going to be in righteousness, and judgment, and sincerity, and equity, in righteousness. Everything's going to be righteous, man.
And why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah. You know? Yeah, why would, you know, here it is. You work hard, right? And you come home and your house gets broken into, right? Or your car gets broken into. You know, or you find somebody set your car ablaze.
Or scratched it
because they were jealous because they got a hoopty, and you might be pushing a nice whip. Right. You know, this society is fucked up like that, man.
Or it just gets old. It gets wear and tear. Or you out and about, and your kid wanders off and gets molested. Yeah. Or gets snatched up.
And that was disgusting, man. That video, man. I hope they get that motherfucker. I hope they put him under the jail, and I hope they torture his ass. That's right. You know, no fucking pedophiles, boy.
Hey, because prosperity in America is like applying for a job with a out of business sign in red and yellow letters in the front, man. You go in, oh man, they hiring.
They bankrupt.
They bankrupt, but they need one more goddamn soul to help push the inventory from the back up to the front to make the last few dollars. I'm like, man, I got me a job.
Yep. You get a good job.
I got me a good job. They paying $22 an hour. You know, but it's short lived because it says out of business. You know, or closing. That's Babylon the Great. The Lord is putting a seal of completion upon this place, man. That's right. And the only ones that can see it are the people that the Most High's eyes that He has opened. That's right. You know? Yeah, precept, bro?
Yeah, bro. Hey, this is Micah 3:5. It states, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, peace, and he that put it not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. Therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of the Most High. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sins."
That's right. And because that's what the prophets did. You know, they were endowed with the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Shai to do what they did. And we're same thing with us. We're endowed by the power of Yahweh Bashem Shai to come out here and to prophesy. You know? But the Lord is bringing judgment. There's condemnation coming. And there's people that still rise up against us and talk shit. But our job is not to worry about that. Our job is to tell them what the Lord told us to tell them. And matter of fact, somebody get real quick. You got more on that?
No.
All right, can somebody get Isaiah 54 and 17? You know, because these people get highly offended, highly irate. You know, when you tell them the truth, when you tell them that they're going off, they don't want to be told that they're going off. But you know what? You're going off, and the Lord's going to destroy you if you don't stop walking down that path that you're walking down.
Okay.
You know. Who got that? Isaiah 54, 17.
Isaiah 54 and 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn.
Right. Every tongue that shall rise up against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. The word condemn, con is with, and damnation is to damn somebody. So with damnation. And what's that? That's what the Lord said, go out here and declare to Israel their sins and their iniquities. Don't spare. You know? So it don't matter if you get mad, if you get emotional, if you get sad, if you cry, you know, if you want to kill us, excuse me, whatever. We're supposed to come out here and tell you no matter what. You know? And that's what we're doing. And that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, sparing not.
Yeah. So dude, you don't have any excuses, man.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what was the name of the title, brother?
You can't say you wasn't warned.
Yeah. You can't say you weren't warned. Because the Most High himself is warning you. Yahweh Shai himself is warning you through our mouths. We're the ambassadors for Yahweh Shai. We were set out here to teach the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know? And that's exactly what we're doing. And if you look at the past, and you look at the prophets in the past, and you look at beginning from the apostles, the elders, and the men of Great Millstone, you know, whether they be elders or whether they be officers or camp leaders or whatever, you know, we're doing the same thing. You know, we're teaching the same things that they were teaching back then. Look at the prophets of old. What was happening to them? They were being persecuted. Why? Because they were telling the people that what they were doing was wrong. It was going against the Heavenly Father's laws. And what they do, they turned, rend, and killed them. It's the same thing now. You know? So if you look at the different groups out there, and you weigh out what the scriptures say of the prophets to what these other groups are doing, you're going to find out that among Great Millstone, we're the ones that are suffering the things that the ancient prophets were suffering. We're the ones that's being persecuted. We're the ones that's being ridiculed. You know, we're the ones that's being talked about. We're the ones that people want to see dead.
And slander.
It's slander. You know?
Quick one for you, Apostle. Hey, this is Revelation 18 and 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down.
So there's a judgment coming. You know? So when we're telling you that there's a judgment coming, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to get yourself right. The scriptures say we stir up your mind, by your pure minds by way of remembrance. You know? You got it?
And shall be found no more at all.
And shall be found no more at all. See? And then I believe, was that what verse? That was 21?
Kind.
Read the 20th verse.
Okay. Revelation 18 and 20.
Because the 20th verse, it says it all.
Oh, yeah. God. Revelation 18 and 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles.
Right. So what are we supposed to be doing? When we see the judgment of the Lord coming upon this place, we're supposed to rejoice. You know?
That's right.
And that's exactly what we're doing. We're rejoicing that the Lord is finally getting ready to take this place down. Okay?
And prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her.
Right, because this is the Most High's judgment upon them for what? For the things that they've done to us. Go back in the history. Look at what they did to our forefathers. All the way back to when the so-called white men, the Edomites, first came to this land. You know, they tortured, killed, maimed, raped, pillaged, you know, the so-called North American Indians, Seminole Indians, the different so-called Indians in the different Caribbean islands, Central America, South America, Mexico. Those are, you got to pay for that. Then after that, they brought the so-called Negroes over here and cargo slave ships, which are also Israelites, and they put hell on them too. So this is the time that the Lord said He was going to bring judgment upon this devil and upon this nation for the things they did to us. So instead of you having your head down and being sad you ain't got a job, we're supposed to be rejoicing right now. You know, but Jake, they want their cake and eat it too, man. Got it up. That was it on that, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So bottom line, man, that's you people have been warned. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read this real quick while y'all get whatever y'all getting, if I may. This is the book of St. John, chapter 15, verse 23. He that hateth me hateth my Father also. What does that mean? If you hate Yahushua, you hate the Most High. How do you hate Yahushua? By not doing the things and believing the things that He spoke about. Right? It says, if I had not done among them the works which none other man have, if I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. So if Yahushua didn't come and say and tell them the things that He told them, they would have not been held accountable for it. And then we did the same thing with us. We're out here in the stead of Yahushua, as ambassadors of Yahushua, telling them that the Lord's going to destroy them if they don't turn back. So guess what? You have no cloak for your sins anymore. You know, you wide open right now for the Lord's judgment. You know?
Which chapter was that?
That was St. John 15. I believe it started at 23. It goes on to say, this cometh to pass that the word might be fulfilled that was written in the law. They hated me without a cause. You know, and that was exactly what it was. Yahushua, all He did was come to the earth to be a sacrifice for the sins of the nation of Israel. And 2/3 rejected Him back then. You know, and 2/3 are rejecting Him right now.
And that's why He was considered as that chief cornerstone.
That's right.
Because if you know anything about a cornerstone, what does it do? It holds two walls together. What are the two walls? The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, man. He was bringing that back, man.
And then a footnote in verse 22 when it says, but now they have no cloak for their sin, it says excuse. So the Lord has left you without an excuse. No more excuses. The excuses come now because a righteous man falls 7 times to get back up. You know, so you can make excuses about that, you know. But when that judgment comes, there isn't going to be no, hey, but Lord, I actually believed. Oh, well, you know, I was thinking it. Oh, man, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's Matthew 7:21.
Hey, no more talking.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the grace period. This is the cool of the day. This is the B times, man. Because once the judgment hits, then, hey, that's the end of the game, man. I got a quick one. Hebrews 12:1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. But the point is, hey, we out there on the highways and the byways. And so you see us, man. So there's no excuses, basically, when you pass by those camps. Even if you didn't stop, you had a chance to see the truth, man. And you can be condemned for that shit, man. Or just like if you're on the internet and if you see a Great Millstone video as a thumbnail, you can be condemned for that as well, man.
You got a precept, bro?
Yeah, because by now there's a lot of people on the planet that have heard of the Hebrew Israelites. And that's why this devil is paying guys off, these wacky Christians, to try to come out. Because them Christians, they were finished. I mean, they're still finished, but they were finished a long time ago. They stopped, they really, you know, after a while, they stopped coming around. But now all of a sudden, you know, they're coming back around again. And then they're talking about and trying to debunk things that we teach. You know, back then they were just saying that Jesus loves everybody and God is love and things of that nature. Today they're talking about the Edomites. Ain't nobody was talking about the Edomites prior to the Hebrew Israelites coming out here and speaking about them. Now they're reading out of the Apocrypha. You know, in the what's that called? In the when the inaugurations, Come on, man. These devils were never reading out the Apocrypha, you know? But now all of a sudden they reading out the Apocrypha. They talking about Esau, you know?
Because of who?
Yeah, because the Spirit of the Lord have put the Spirit in his men to come out there and prophesy and speak about these things.
Okay.
That's what they're talking about it. So they have to set up, they see that the Muslims ain't doing it. They see that the black unconscious continents ain't doing it. Egyptology, none of that is phasing. So they got to try and they got to try to debunk this thing, because the devil ain't gonna go down without a fight.
Okay.
You know, but it's all in vain, my man. Y'all got some?
You got it. You got it.
And this is Ezekiel 2 and Ezekiel 2 and 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. For they are impudent, children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them.
Beautiful.
So it's no excuses, man.
That's
And
it.
we out there, and apostles been out there for the past 25 to 30 years, man. And we as well, man, we've been out there for a short inkling of time, but we out there as well, man. Through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, because that spirit has trickled down to us as well, man. So there's no excuses, man. That's why Apostle Tahar deemed last year the year of the push, man. Flood the internet, man. Because the more you push, man, hey, Lord willing, hey, the elect can be sealed so we can get the hell up out of here, man. But niggas like Nate, they don't want to get up out of here. Why? Because they are comfortable within the society, and therefore they want to prolong this captivity, man. That's it, man.
Isaiah 30 and 20. It says that though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet should not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
Yeah, because you got it, brother. You got it.
Hey, just a quick note, that Hebrew word for corner is actually view. So now you see the apostles and the elders on YouTube, man, beginning 2007.
Yeah,
man.
and these brothers too, that's been laboring, man. You know, hey, your eyes shall see thy teachers. You know?
It says, but thy eyes should see thy teachers.
Yeah. You know? So, hey, man, these brothers been out there putting in work, man. You know?
Y'all can close up.
Okay, I got to close. I must be allowed to read this.
Kind of.
All right.
And then, you know, with this topic, you could go on for hours and hours, but you know, the point is already made, you know? Like they say, you can't beat a dead horse. If you ride a horse and the horse dies, if you beat the horse, is that horse going to come back to life? No. Unless you got spiritual power. You know, so we can go on topic, you know, for long periods of time, but after a while, you can't beat a dead horse. These people are not going to get it. The ones that are meant to get it are going to get it. The ones that are not meant to get it are not going to get it. It's just that simple.
Right. Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them.
That's right. Yeah, so pretty much you're going to see these things come to pass. And it's going to, see, the truth is going to be manifested. It's going to be known who the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shemel Shai, is with. You know? And there's only going to be one truth. There ain't going to be two truths or, you know, three truths, or everybody on the planet, every religion has a piece of it. No. It's going to be one way. The Most High's way or the highway. Yahweh Shemel Shai's way or the highway. Right. Scriptures tell you in Habakkuk that the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord. That's what Yahweh Shai said, that this gospel shall be preached unto the four corners of the earth, and then shall the end come. You know? So we're coming to that time now. You know, the Christianity, Roman Catholicism, Islam, all these different religions have been around the earth, all over the place. You know? But the truth is now out there. You know, the real truth. You know? So, you know, if you want to close it out.
You got it, bro.
And with that, we hope you were edified. All praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua.
Double honor to the apostles, the elders, and salutations to you sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.